century scene where you join us from on the west coast of England, Anfield, Liverpool, but you go a long way to find a ground that generates a more exciting atmosphere than this, the home of Liverpool Football Club. And for the third round of the FA Cup, it's always that little bit extra special. Liverpool's lucky talisman is Ian Rush. They've never lost a game when he scored. He lost his touch recently and went 8 games without a goal, but he was back on the score sheet on New Year's Day. Rush takes his place in this Liverpool lineup. Kenny Dalglish, manager as well as player this season, has left himself out in favour of Paul Walsh, who scored 12 goals in his last 15 appearances. And one player on the Norwich side who's bound to come with mixed feelings today is central defender Dave Watson. He was on the staff here, never got beyond the reserve side before he was transferred to Norwich, and there he's become an England international. Still has a younger brother on the Anfield staff and lots of relatives in the crowd. The Norwich City lineup is exactly the same as it has been for their previous 8 games, playing with enormous confidence. The referee is a police inspector, Mr. David Hutchinson. The only problem for the referee has been the playing surface. It is actually a perfect stud hold underneath. Referee's problem will be whether the continuing snow will obliterate the lines. But as long as that lasts, we should have a cracking cup tie. Norwich attacking the goal to our right, and the players are clearly going to have problems with their foothold. They all need a fairly long stud. Both teams in their traditional colours. Norwich City in their canary yellow shirts and green shorts. And before taking the throw is Steve Bruce. Liverpool all in red. Paul Johnston gets it away for Liverpool. Chase from McDonald, but the first man there is Chris Woods, the Norwich City goalkeeper. Rush's pass for Johnston, Walsh in the middle, offside surely. No flag went up, and had Woods not got his feet to that, that could have been the first goal for Liverpool. Johnston, Nicol. McMahon to Molby. And now Whelan. And again Whelan, good save again by Chris Woods. It's twice in quick succession there. Chris Woods has used his body to save Norwich City. First from Walsh, and that time from Whelan. Molby. Hit long ball, McDonald got a head to it, Rush! Now that's the kind of luck that Ian Rush has been having in the last 6 weeks or so. Keeps getting himself into scoring positions, and when the nod across came then, struck it well, but beat the post by about a foot. So when you look at these conditions, and then remember that in the early part of the season, British footballers often play in 70 and 80 degree temperatures, and may well have frozen, rutted grounds to cope with during the next 2 or 3 months, and then maybe bare and muddy and dusty pitches towards the end of the season. So they have to be very adaptable. I must say, when you look out there, you think of the players from England and Scotland who are on this pitch who will have to perform in Mexico in the World Cup in June. I think that this is hardly the ideal preparation for them. Here's McDonald for Liverpool. Miskicked, cleared by Watson. Nicol. Whelan chasing it out for Liverpool. Marr. Nicol. Johnston. 2 in the middle. It's Rush. Again, saw the cross coming, got himself balanced, met the header well, and was still just a foot wide. And that's very much been the story of the last couple of months for Ian Rush. Molby, who will take the free kick, who has the most ferocious clout with the dead ball. That time just the chip. And a good touch from the goalkeeper, and a missed kick from Whelan. McDonald hunting, but Norwich clear their lines. Whelan to put the pressure back on. Welsh's header, offside flag raised against Rush. Rush can't believe it. Played on for McDonald. Norwich caught as the ball was played through quickly. McDonald, who has been threatening to get through into one of those exposed positions, that time made it turn. A shot half blocked, but still the first blood to Liverpool. Kevin McDonald's fourth goal of the season, putting Liverpool in front. Bruce Grobbelaar, one of the great entertainers of British football, has a tremendous rapport with the crowd, renowned for his jokey style. But still a very good goalkeeper too. Johnston for Walsh, nice touch. McDonald. Nicol to Walsh. Gets the free kick. Referee rules obstruction by Bruce. Walsh, a very neat, tidy player who can turn in very small spaces. Bruce is stuck tight trying to deny him that. That time was outsmarted. Johnston is there, Nicol is there, and so is Mulvey. Not have they up their sleeves. Mulvey. Walsh! Well, they should have stopped him, and the defenders are looking at each other and wondering why they didn't. Paul Walsh, who's had an absolutely magic touch in recent months, gets his 14th goal of the season. A lot of pretending and faking going on over the free kick, but in the end, when Mulvey played it, it was simplicity itself, and Walsh was stealing in unmarked to get the goal. Liverpool 2, Norwich City 0, and Norwich now really up against it. Walsh against Watson, bringing in Johnston. Really got hold of that one on the body. I remember seeing him score one just like that against Everton in the Merseyside derby earlier this season. And it was as well for Norwich that somebody got a body in the way of that. Corner went behind and it's a goal kick. The kick has been given and Johnston wants to take it quickly. Header away by Watson. Whelan turns it back. Nice dummy, and again Ian Rush's sights just askew. Well, to be fair to him, he doesn't hide and he doesn't hesitate. Gets into the positions, lets the shots go, but cannot find the target. Wyndham back to Bruce. Culverhouse. Barren did well there. Still can't work the ball down in those corners where the players haven't trodden as much. The snow is more clinging, and Barren was clearly having trouble moving the ball through. But on the whole, the pitch has played remarkably well. So we are now coming up to the end of half-time and to the end of the first half, and indeed the referee's whistle has gone, and Liverpool will go to the dressing rooms well pleased with their work. The first goal scored midway through the first half by Kevin McDonald, and the second added by Paul Walsh. So some talking for Ken Brown to do in the Norwich City dressing room, but at half-time it's Liverpool 2, Norwich City 0. So Kenny Dalglish returns to the bench, presumably well pleased with what his team have done in the first half. Kenny, who played in the last two games for Liverpool, has left himself out today in favour of Paul Walsh, who's justified that by scoring Liverpool's second goal. 2-0 they lead. They'll play from left to right, attacking the famous Kop goal in this second half. That huge bank of spectators now behind Chris Wood's goal. Ball by Van Wijk. Alby's header off. Wijk. Phelan. Van Wijk did well there. Didn't get a very good pass from Dean. This is Dean. Van Wijk again. And that's the first real shot that Grobbelaar has had to save from Peter Mendy. And he got hold of it well. Good right foot, but Grobbelaar covering it by the post. About 1,000 Norwich City supporters who made the journey right across England from virtually the east coast to the west to support their side. At the moment they've got Steve Bruce, one of their great favourites, down injured. Mulvey. Donald. And in a good position is McMahon. This could be number 3. And it's classic Liverpool move, made with 2 simple passes that eventually found McMahon in space, and it's fair to say in the space that would have been covered by the injured Steve Bruce, and McMahon made no mistake when given the chance. Barham's cross. That was painful. Second attempt catch by Grobbelaar. Donald, incidentally, was the player who was hit in the face. He's all right. Rush. Walk. And Rush! But Whelan gets it. Whelan's header, making it 4-0. And I hope you'll forgive the confusion, but it really was the kind of header that we're so accustomed to seeing from Ian Rush. I could only feel that in his current state would have been dreamed with envy. The cross, when it came, was met absolutely to perfection by Whelan, and Ronnie Whelan gets his 7th goal of the season, puts Liverpool 4-0 in front, and the cup tie now well beyond Norwich's reach. And that goal, in a sense, is the reward that Kenny Dalglish has had for playing Molby as sweeper, sealing the back behind Hansen and Lawrenson, and allowing Nicol and Whelan to get forward. Both of them have featured over the years in the Liverpool midfield, and the strategy has been 100% vindicated today. And White for Norwich. Johnston, playing as hard now as he was at the start of the game. Chris Woods from the header, but John Walk, an expert poacher. I think it's a measure of the respect in which Norwich are held this season that there'll be a lot of clubs around the country who will see this result and infer from it that once again Liverpool are going to be serious contenders in the FA Cup. They have won this tie by 5 goals to 0, and to be honest, it was as comprehensive as the scoreline. They virtually stopped Norwich City from having any worthwhile shots at Bruce Grobbelaar's goal. They were put in front by Kevin MacDonald in the first half, and then Paul Walsh added the second. That was it at half-time. The key goal probably came when Steve Bruce was down injured and McMahon went in to make it 3. And from there was no way back for Norwich. Whelan and Walk adding the others.